50 verses to resolve doubt. 1. Detachment from the world. Of worldly things, 1,000-fold, not one is real. The sentiments of mundane ties are most injurious to the being. Cutting through with one stroke, there is nothing to bind you. In the realm of liberation, you become an independent person. 2. Cultivation and sleep. Cutting down on sleep is really not removing the demon of sleep. Forgetting to eat, neglecting to sleep, you cut through entanglements. When entanglements are swept away, and the mind is clear and calm, you may sleep throughout the day and night. What is there to fear? 3. Practice. Practice developing virtue is the greatest priority. When achievement is great and practice profound, it moves heaven and earth. Ridiculous are the foolish ones who only profit themselves. With no achievement and little action, they dream of becoming immortals. 4. The gold elixir. The primordial basic essence is called the elixir. In the furnace of the 8 trigrams it is forged into a pill. The deluded throughout the world vainly seek external medicines. By taking these, they wrongly imagine they can ascend to the clouds. 5. The mysterious pass. Few people know the opening of the mysterious pass. Extremely subtle and recondite, it contains yin and yang. Going along, you flow back into the road of affliction, coming back in reverse. This is the foundation of sages. 6. The discriminating spirit. The consciousness which thinks is called the discriminating spirit, the seed of transmigration. It carries the accretions of the senses. The ignorant and deluded both play with the wandering soul. After all, who can see the host behind it all? 7. The celestial vitality. A point of celestial vitality is hidden in the physical being. When you recognize the real, you can set your sights upon it. It is not in the heart, and not in the genitals, not void, not form. It is concealed in the mysterious pass. 8. Primordial energy. The primordial, unified energy is the vast undifferentiated. It has no shape or form, yet does not fall into voidness. When you recognize the true state of the beginning of life, only then will you know there is a host within yourself. 9. The primordial and the conditioned. Before birth is called the primordial. Temperament comes along with emergence in the world. The sages of yore and people of late are divided on 2 roads. You should carefully distinguish the partial and the complete. 10. The beginning of the course. The beginning of the course is basically the primal treasure, the subtle, recondite, true unified vitality. It is something unadulterated, flawless, pure. Do not misapply this term to menstrual blood. 11. 3 medicines. The medicines are of 3 kinds: vitality, energy, and spirit. Whatever has form is not the original reality. Utterly pure, open, and aware, these medicines are refined into the indestructible spiritual body. 12. Essence and life. Essence and life are basically divided into primordial and temporal. When the living body falls to the ground, it determines partial and complete. Temporal essence and life follow the turns of fate. Get hold of the primordial, and you wield the authority yourself. 13. The heart of heaven and earth. The heart of heaven and earth. Where is it stored? Yin and yang stimulate it to manifest the sphere of light, refining it in the crucible of openness and non-being. Forever and ever, it never wanes away. 14. The mind of Tao and the human mind. The human mind is like iron, the mind of Tao like gold. One should assess them carefully in terms of subtlety and insecurity. The spiritual capacity of transmutation has no high or low. At the fountainhead, the living water distinguishes yang and yin. 15. Before birth. In the state before birth, who knows, when silent, passive, undifferentiated, the 4 forms and 5 elements do not reach, the unified energy has no male or female. 16. At birth, the newborn state. What is it like? The primordial and the temporal are one energy. No discrimination, no knowledge, not a single stain. The seed of Buddhas and immortals, the lair of sages. 17. The other. The other is not another person. If you mistake it for another, you are already way off. Your child has wandered off outside. Give it a call. When it sees your face, it will follow its parent. 18. Other and self. The classics speak of other and self to distinguish yin and yang. This is the realm of purity, neither material nor void. Those who practice deviant techniques of sexual alchemy destroy their natural innocence in the brothels. 19. Associates. Associates should be divided into inner and outer supports, with 2 or 3 people as personal associates, and outer associates likewise helping out. Shed the dust of personal history. 20. Patrons. People seek patrons, hoping to accomplish their practices. Buying crucibles, smelting lead, they madly grasp for the wind. How can they understand that the celestial mechanism transcends things of the world? Depending on the power of others, they stick to their ignorance. 21. The ninefold crucible. The number 9 associated with heaven is called pure yang. The method of refining restored elixir in the ninefold crucible is interpreted by the deluded to refer to women as crucibles. They will surely enter an inescapable impasse. 22. Summoning and absorbing. There is a secret method of summoning and absorbing the primordial, beckoning fulfillment by emptiness. You see the Emperor of the Void. In the clamor of form and sound, there is no obstruction. Freely you spin the North Star. 23. Inversion. What difficulty is there in inverting yin and yang? You should exercise spiritual observation in quietude. When the mind of Tao is not obscured, the human mind vanishes. Right away you ascend directly to the peak experience. 24. The firing process. The work of operating the fire basically has no time. Working by day, introspective by night, you kill the inner parasites, warding off danger, wary of peril, ever clear and calm. In dealing with people, you adjust without error. 25. The hexagram images. For the firing process, the classics speak of the I Ching hexagrams, but it is wrong to ponder the lines and cling to the images. It is all a matter of needing to understand the principle of yin and yang, advance or withdraw according to the time, as is indicated. 26. The furnace and crucible of heaven and earth. The crucible of heaven and furnace of earth are in one's own body. Stop inquiring externally after their basis. When firmness and flexibility have no separation, they forge the primal unified energy. The real. 27. The crescent moon furnace. You ask what the crescent moon furnace is. Within black, there is white, returning after darkness. Clearly, I point out the matrix of the restored elixir to waken the people of the time. Do you know or not? 28. The cinnabar crucible. Cultivation of reality depends on the cinnabar crucible. It is not iron, not gold, not silver. Recognizing the light of awareness, you take the fresh, replacing the old. You see original humanity. 29. The earth pot. The earth pot is not made of earth. The proper state of central balance is its true name. Wood, metal, water, and fire all gather herein, cultivating a mystic pearl that shines through the night. 30. The dipper handle. By watching the dipper handle as it turns in the sky, you will realize that the mechanism of life is elsewhere, turning it around to retrieve autonomy within. Then, in the midst of the fire, a golden lotus will appear. 31. The two poles. The lower pole is water. The upper pole is metal. It is just a matter of harmonious stabilization of yin and yang. If you succeed in combining firmness and flexibility, in the center appears the heart of nirvana. 32. Clear and cloudy. Clear water is celestial, cloudy water mundane. How many students make a close investigation, where the pivotal works moves? Real and false are divided. Getting rid of the cloudy and keeping the clear produces white gold. 33. Self-refinement. Practicing self-refinement is the first priority. Stopping craving, forgetting emotions, removing entanglements. When all attachments to the senses is cut off, there is a single field of elixir, completely clean and clear. 34. Setting up the foundation. Stability of will is setting up the foundation. Not wavering in body or mind is most excellent. Rely on that in trouble and trial. With no waves on still waters, there is no connection to things. 35. Lead and mercury. True mercury is not mercury of the mundane world. True lead is not lead that comes from minds. One is sense, one essence, the primordial medicines. Refining them, returning to the root, there is a great restoration. 36. The boy and girl. When the girl hides in fire, she is not real. When the boy is in water, he cannot be followed. But now that the opening of yin and yang has been explained, by openness and solidity, they give birth to the spiritual body. 37. Water and fire. Do not seek water and fire in the north and south. The nature of fire is to fly up. Water flows down. If you can invert the two things, water rises, fire descends, and they form the elixir. 38. Thunder and lake. Lake is not in the west, thunder not in the east. When essence is disturbed and sense confused, their energies do not join. When you attain the method of restoring sense to essence, in a moment you see the true inner self. 39. Midnight and noon. Stop looking for midnight and noon in the night and day. There is another indicator within the body. There is yin and yang, movement and stillness, according to the time. In the midst of concentration, you always hear the note of high antiquity. 40. 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. The classics say that bathing is done at 6 in the morning and evening. This describes two energies without the flaw of imbalance. The ignorant who do not understand the meeting of yin and yang practice quiet sitting in the morning and at night. 41. The yellow woman. The pairing of female and male requires the yellow woman. The central mediator forms the receptacle of creation. If you ask for genuine information on the yellow woman, sincerity alone has the effect of harmonizing the 5 elements. 42. Restoring the elixir. Why is cultivating the elixir called restoring the elixir? When the 5 energies are separated, each is isolated. When you know how to restore the original state, they all combine. Mind and body, unwavering, they form into a whole. 43. Maturation of the elixir. When the elixir has been restored, there is another method. It does not require adjustment and further increase of yang. The spiritual fire spontaneously burns in the furnace, sending forth a bead of light which suffuses the heavens. 44. The spiritual embryo. The spiritual embryo is not a corpuscle with form. When energy clusters and spirit congeals, the true seed is planted, aware of perils, warding off danger, constantly taking care. If you are too intent, it will surely cause disaster. 45. Release from the womb. When the spiritual embryo is released and transmuted, then it is completely real. 10 months of work nurtures the valley spirit. Celestial energy totally pure. The force of mundanity exhausted. An immortal being leaps out in open space. 46. Doing. Doing is not manipulation of the physical body. Forced gymnastics all result in injury. How can you understand the true secret mentally transmitted, unfathomed by ghosts or spirits? One revolves yin and yang. 47. Non-doing. Non-doing is not sticking to indifferent emptiness. When you are able to avoid negligence and obsession both, rooting out the seeds of repeated births and deaths. Right in the center, there is just one spiritual youth. 48. Return and meeting. When yin culminates, returning to yang. Advance the fire. When yang is pure, on the verge of meeting, work the yin convergence. When yin convergence and yang fire are used without error, they forge the picture of the primordial absolute. 49. Gentle and vigorous. Conquering demons by intense effort is vigorous cultivation. Nurturing energy with empty mind is gentle development. Knowing what is indicated and what is not. Adapting to the time. Everywhere gold shines. The eyes are clear. 50. Harmonizing illumination. Harmonizing illumination, merging with the ordinary world, is the secret celestial mechanism. The spiritual achievement of the great function is truly rare, ever responsive, ever clear, ever independent. According to the time, one sheds the old and dons new clothing.